Good morning. Yesterday I talked about trying to do things and failing, and today I want to talk about doing things and succeeding and then not doing them anymore on purpose and deciding not to do things at all or slow rolling things. I think this is probably the best area of focus for me, maybe always, maybe forever in my life, but definitely right now. Focus on doing less, stopping things, saying no to things, to make space to do stuff that actually matters and is worth the effort, is where I'm at. So about a year and a half ago, the very beginning of the pandemic, I made this conscious choice to focus on doing the stuff I do, conversion optimization consulting for SaaS businesses in particular. Where before I worked with everybody all over the map, e-commerce, media, I thought, well, this is about to get weird, but here's a sector that is probably going to do okay, meaning they'll have the budget to hire the fancy website guy to come give you advice, and so I should be okay. And this has worked just fine. So found work in the area, been able to do stuff. Clients, I believe, have largely been glad that they came across me and pays the bills, so that's great. And at the same time, after about a year and a half of this focus and having been through what we've all been through, it also feels really detached from actual valuable work in the economy, I guess. And that maybe that's a spicy take. I'm not going to go too deep into it, but I look around at some of these SaaS solutions that have a ton of funding and throwing a ton of resources into growth. And I just wonder, honestly, like how many project management tools do we need? I might not care about helping one of a dozen different project management tools get like a 0.5% increase in market share. Do I want that to be my legacy? Is that what I'm going to look back on, like on my deathbed, and be like, sweet, yeah, like we got that 7.3% increase in landing page conversions, like, and then I die? Like I don't think that's where I want to be. I don't think that's how I feel if that's kind of all I do. So I've decided I don't really want to focus on this sector anymore. And so I'll be kind of like ramping down on some projects over the next 6 months, like nothing hasty here. But that opened up the possibility to say, well, whom do I want to serve? If not SaaS marketers, then, who am I going to be working with? Who would I want to spend my day talking to? So that's a thing that I've done, and I'd say it went fine, but I'm not going to do it. A year from now, it won't be something that I'm working on. And then that opened up the possibility to consider, okay, well, what else do I want to do? And so now I'm in this phase of evaluating different options. And I kind of put it out to people that I know and put it out there on Twitter and got some suggestions. I've been looking at those suggestions. I had an idea of my own too that I've decided not to do. So this is a thing that I'm not going to be doing that I kind of never did. I just explored. So this is like a free idea. If you're watching this and you think this makes sense, please do run with it, whether you're future me or another human, for what it's worth. I think it's a decent idea. I'm just not excited enough about it. So the idea being serving nonfiction authors. And so I've started and abandoned one nonfiction book. So I guess there's another thing that I'm not doing at the moment. And I'm currently working on another one, and I'm in a writing group with a bunch of people. It's the Write Useful Books community. It's great. And so I have access to people that are writing a book, like a how-to book or some sort of a book that solves a problem, or health book, business book. And the question, because people kind of know the work I do, that I've had from a couple people is like, oh, yeah, I'm going to finish my book. And like, then what? Like, what? Do I need a website? Should I have my own website plus one for my book? Or can I just get away with one? Do I have to get on Instagram to promote this book? I really don't want to get on Instagram. And I think this is a super interesting problem to solve. And I believe I could solve it. Because if you look for help here, what I've seen so far is there's guys that kind of look like me, like maybe a little better groomed, but they're going to sell you like on the solution, right? They're like, oh, here's the answer. You go set up this landing page with this tool that I use, and then you go buy Google Ads, and here's how you run that program. And like that could work for some people. And what I mean by that is some people who try that will actually achieve like a positive return on the investment on the ads and will sell books that way. And out of those people, a subset of that will be able to do so without hating every moment of it. And so it worked for those people who didn't hate it and got a return. And then for a lot of other people, it won't work. So in my mind, like the right answer to that question is not one answer. It's not one system or one solution. It's kind of like a decision tree. And it starts with, like, what's your degree of technical prowess, know-how, and interest in investing your own time in managing this whole aspect of the business that you were running when you launched this book. Different people will have very different answers to that, from I'm a hacker writing a book about hacking stuff to I don't even know what a website really is. So for these different people, different answers. And then the same thing with acquisition, right? With bringing people to a site or an e-commerce platform or wherever you're selling your book. Should you get on Instagram? I would say probably not if you don't want to. But what are the options, and how do you choose an option that's a good fit, that also your audience is there and can be reached? Not trivial, but there's a process you could walk through to answer that, I think. And so my idea was, I'm going to do this. I'm going to solve this. And I'll talk to a bunch of authors and kind of help them out with their website and their marketing. And at the end of that, I'll sort of have the decision tree. And I can package that up as a book or a course. And I'll sell that to future authors. And they can all feel like they can all be freed of that anxiety that, oh man, I'm going to have to get on Instagram and I hate Instagram. I want to save people from that feeling, right? But I've looked into other options that I see more promise in, more potential in, better fit, kind of probably quicker path to replacing the income that I'm going to eventually cut out from the SaaS consulting. And so I'm just not going to do that. I'm not going to solve that nonfiction author's how do I internet problem right now. And so again, wide open, I think it's out there. I think it's a real pain that people feel. I think it's definitely solvable, but not trivial. I think it's a good one, but I'm just not going to work on that right now because I've decided to do other stuff and I'm decided not to try to do everything. And so that's that. That's where I'm at with that. And I guess I'm done. I need to figure out how I want to end these videos because 2 times in a row now I just kind of get to the end and trail off. But I guess I'll talk about the stuff I do actually want to do soon, but not today. So thanks for watching.